Hey, what's up, guys? Jamie here. So, I wanted to talk about WWE's current product and the fans. I'm not bashing anybody, and I'm not here to bash the company. I'm just here to give my opinion, and I'm not calling anybody out. But what I really wanted to talk about this topic was that people are saying, not everybody, are saying that WWE sucks because it's PG. And I disagree with that completely. Because PG, TVMA, TV14 are not what made the company great or makes the company bad. Because you can have a good product despite having a PG product. I was little, or didn't even exist during the time of the Attitude Era, and as wonderful and amazing as the Attitude Era was, from what I've seen on DVDs and YouTube videos and from what I've heard, it's great. And don't get me wrong, the inappropriate stuff, the comedy to it, some of the violence, but that's not what made the Attitude Era great. They had good, consistent storylines. They had the characters, the promos there. They had the interesting storylines. And the comedy and the violence and the blood just added to the mix of everything going on in WWE. It's not because it was TV14, TVMA, was because that's why it was good. It was good because they were able to build their characters there. They had established stars. They were good at making good and consistent product every single week. And they knew what to do. They had a good creative team back then. The product of having blood and being able to swear, and that's all wonderful, and it's great, and it's good comedy, and it, like I said, things like that add to a match, add to a storyline. But you don't need constant swearing or constant blood to make a good product. You can still have great wrestling in a PG environment. And I get it that, when you're TV14, TVMA, you have more. Yes, I understand that. And in PG, there's some things that they can't do. But that's what being creative is. You can think outside of the box. You can still have good, consistent storyline in a PG product. It might not have a lot of leniency in a PG product because it's more family friendly, and a lot of kids are watching. But you can have good pure wrestling with a hint of blood here and there and a hint of good comedy but just pure wrestling with storyline in it. Being PG is not the problem. What's the problem is the creative team. Not because it's a different rating, but because of what is going on in WWE team and where they're going. It's how you were able to write a storyline, how you were able to tell a story in the ring, is what makes a good product. Not the rating, whether it's TVMA, TVPG, whatever it may be. What makes a product good is the wrestling matches, which obviously that's the whole point of what you're going to see. The wrestling characters, the build to certain matches, the direction wrestlers are going in, building your new stars, already having established stars to help those other stars. The product doesn't suck because it's PG. Well, I don't like to say sucks, but it's not great right now because some wrestlers don't have a direction to go in. There are very, very amazing stars there. Some don't have direction to go in. Some are just sitting there, not literally, but don't have a direction to go into. Some are tossed into storylines because so many wrestlers are hurt. WWE needs to build more stars because they're kind of just thinking that they'll just throw Undertaker in there. Don't get me wrong, he's absolutely amazing. I love him so much. You guys know I'm the biggest fan ever of him. But they'll think, oh, we'll just throw an Undertaker in there or Brock Lesnar. Problem solved. But no, obviously, that's not going to do it. And obviously it hasn't done it because ratings are still low. To tune in for Undertaker and Brock Lesnar or whoever it may be, and then they'll shut it off. You want to be able to keep your viewers. And if they know those wrestlers are not coming back, they're not going to tune in. They're not going to be engaged. slip them in, or you don't even really have to slip them anywhere because you have such good consistent storylines and already build stars. You don't have to panic and bring back everybody in sight because you lack in stars. There is a big roster and they do have a lot on, but because they're not established, or don't have a direction to go in, you have to rely on, Undertaker, or throwing Stone Cold in there, or, bringing back legends for a night. That's not going to do it. And obviously it's going to take time, but you got to work at it. You got to be consistent. And to be fair to WWE, they're going to have bad shows. Just like any show out there is going to have their good shows. They're going to have their bad shows. They're going to have slow episodes. They're going to have average. They're going to have great. But what you want to do is you want to be consistent. You want to have a good, consistent product. And if you have a bad show here or there, it's normal. They're not going to be perfect. They're going to be storylines that you didn't like. So going back to PG making it bad, no, it's how they're being booked, written, and how everything is being done that makes it bad. Because SmackDown was, when it was relevant, was PG through the whole thing. And it's still PG now. And it has some of the best storylines. It has some of the best wrestlers that came from there. Cough, cough, Undertaker. So you don't need a PG product or a TVMA project or such a violent product in order to be good. There are shows that are TVMA and they're not great. It's how you're writing your storylines, how you're adding drama to it, how you're building character, how you're building a foundation, how you're building the wrestling match, telling a story. That's how you're going to do it. By no means I'm this creative person. I don't know everything about wrestling. Nobody knows everything about wrestling. I'm not claiming to, nor am I this most creative person who I think knows what should well-being of the company. But like I was saying, SmackDown's been PG, and it's obviously now it's not relevant, but when it was great. And also, to kind of back up, PG does not really matter, is look at NXT. NXT is the same company, which is hard to believe sometimes, is the same company, and also has to do, which actually backs up my opinion too, on who's writing the storylines, because Vince is obviously in charge, period. But he's running WWE, Raw, SmackDown. And then look at NXT, Triple H is running that. Can you see the difference? PG environment, NXT is freaking amazing. Good storylines, good consistent wrestling, good characters, tag team, the women's division, like all great. And it's PG. It's who's in charge of doing these storylines and how everything is being booked. But don't get me wrong, like obviously if we did have a higher rating, we have the ability to do more. That I understand. Laning, I'm just giving my opinion. And I really, really, really love WWE. I mean, I guess you could call me a mark. I really can't see myself not watching it. And because I honestly can't see my Mondays without watching. I know some fans love it to death, but are kind of like taking a break or go in and out of it. Not exactly tuning in, but you're up to date with the storylines, you know what's going on. And I can't imagine my Monday nights without WWE. Or Sunday nights, or whatever it may be. I don't really watch SmackDown, I watch NXT. But I really can't imagine myself not turning on. I really can't see myself doing anything else. I mean, I probably out of habit, probably because I love it. And I've been watching it for a while. So I really can't imagine myself. What would I do with myself on Monday? I mean, like, I've been doing that forever. So, anyway, let me know what you think WWE should do without being, a jerk about it. What you think of what I was talking about, and give this a thumbs up. Bye. That gong, that gong, that gong, that gong.